Hi, and thank you very much for joining this webinar today. My name is Dean Schmidt. I'm the founder at Basecamp Meta and metasearchmarketing.com. Really pleased to be working with HSMAI to provide you with this video on-demand educational series talking about metasearch. Well, as is the case, anytime you record something, new information always comes along, right? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today is a very new and exciting feature, really. It's really one that I've been waiting for myself for a long time. That's available now within Google's metasearch bid levers. And this is a feature that I refer to as date-based bidding. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I've created this session just to specifically focus on that feature. Now let's understand first of all what this is, and to better understand that we have to think about what are Google's existing bid strategy levers. And I'm talking about these from a manual cost per click strategy. There are various automated tools that you can use out there. There are what they call CPA and commission models as well, and this doesn't apply as much to those. But if we're thinking about the manual levers, they include length of stay, advanced booking windows, device, mobile or desktop, for example, your default date versus a traveler set date, day of week patterns, Google Local Universal as opposed to Google Maps, the country of origin, and even if you're really getting more advanced, getting into your Google audience profiles, and you can use all of those levers. Well, we're adding a new one to this list, which is called check-in date, which basically allows you to target a specific date and focus your strategies on that. Now, I want to make sure we separate something here first of all. Advanced booking window is something that has been available within the Google levers for quite some time. So I could say, for example, people that are arriving same day, 24 hours, 48 hours, even up to 14 days out, really any setting that you want to put in there. And historically, what a lot of companies have done, myself included, is to run a campaign that was focusing on a specific date. Say I wanted to focus on September 23rd, for example. I have a need period. I would do a rolling advanced booking window, right? So it would start off as 60 days, then 59 days, 58 days, and so on. And I would keep on updating that so that it targeted that specific date. Well, now Google allows you to put bids that are specific to that date, or a date range for that matter. Now, if you happen to be using the Google metasearch bidding within Google AdWords, it's going to look something like this. Off on the left-hand side, you see that menu, you've probably seen this before, that allows you to make selections based on devices and itinerary bid adjustments. These include day of week patterns, length of stay, booking window, and all those different things, but check-in date is what we're focused on. And once you've selected that, you can pick a specific date, such as in this case, June 19th, or I can pick a range of dates. Let's say July 2nd to July 5th, for example. And I can go in there and then be more or less aggressive, depending upon what I want to do, according to those dates and specific to this campaign. Why do I say specific to this campaign? That's a very important detail, because when we look at Google, we can run our campaigns in two different areas. We have your typical, what I think of as a branded search term, meaning somebody has looked for your property by name. We'll come back and talk about that in just a moment. But then we also have the other variation where somebody is looking for hotels in an area. This is like a non-branded search term. Let's say hotels in Las Vegas, for example. And so if you look at this image here, what you see is that there are two ads coming up at the very top of the list. We have the one here for MGM Grand, right below that, the Las Vegas Hilton. These are cost per click advertising campaigns that they've put in there so that these hotels would come up at the top of those market rankings. Traditionally now, that has been a set it and apply it to all of your dates. Now, however, you're able to go in there and set it, and let's say you have a grand opening for a hotel. Now I can be really aggressive on those grand opening dates. Let's say I've got a need period where I'm at low occupancy and I need to attract new business, not just people that are looking for me. Hey, I can focus on those specific dates. So this gives you a little bit more flexibility with that. I promised earlier we would come back here and talk about the branded search term variation. So in this example, we're looking at your Google My Business page, where now they've searched for you by name. And in here now we come up, and you can see in that example, there's a brand link at the top of that. Now this gets to be a little bit more philosophical about how do we apply our strategy in here. So let's say, for example, that you're at high occupancy. On one hand, you could say I want to be more aggressive and book those remaining rooms directly, as opposed to taking them at a higher cost of sale through one of the OTAs. So that's definitely a legitimate strategy. I don't want to pay out the high cost of sale. All I want to take now are my direct bookings. Okay, fine. But also conversely, I could say that I want to be less aggressive to save those marketing dollars for the need periods that we mentioned earlier, right? Both of those are valid philosophies, and it depends upon what your revenue management strategy looks like. Likewise, we can look at this from a low occupancy standpoint, where maybe we want to be more aggressive to capture higher converting direct traffic through metasearch. Metasearch, by the way, is low funnel direct response advertising. It converts higher than your typical search engine marketing. That's why a lot of hoteliers like to focus on that. So if I'm at low occupancy, maybe I want to be more aggressive to capture more of that. Then again, I could also say, well, maybe I want to be less aggressive and direct those funds towards the higher converting periods when people are traveling. Again, both of those are valid philosophies, and this is where we really have to start having some discussions as an industry to understand, hey, how exactly do I want to apply this to my metasearch campaign? So the key takeaway today, revenue management and occupancy now play a role in your Google metasearch marketing campaigns. Keep an eye out. I think that there will be things happening in the near future where we start seeing some of the tech platforms out there start to integrate with your revenue management systems so that as you build a strategy around this, they know if you're at high occupancy and they can make if-then decisions based on that. If I'm at high occupancy, then this, and conversely at low occupancy. But for now, you have to do this somewhat manually, but that opportunity is there, especially valuable for those need periods and especially valuable for that destination marketing that we showed earlier. If you'd like to learn more about this as well as other aspects of metasearch marketing, be sure to check out the Navigating Metasearch on-demand course that can be found online at the hsmaiacademy.org/online-training. With that, I do want to thank you for your time today and certainly reach out and let us know if we can help in any way. Take care.